Staying the same only hurts you. Take the chance, take the risk. Everything that you think you're doing right, that gives you that internet look like you're successful and you got all this business going on, that's not who you need. People want to know the real us. We need to see the real you. Whether I believe I deserve more or not, I'm gonna work until I get it. And I know that if I just stay complacent and stay the same, I'm headed downhill. There's nowhere to go. Would you follow you? Now, if the answer is yes, feel free to get up, make your exit, go get some coffee or something. By the time I'm done, it may be something that, doesn't apply, or that applies better to what you're doing because you got it all understood. But if it's not you, I'm here to help. And I'm here to figure out what it is that you're doing wrong. Maybe some of the things that I'm getting ready to talk about are some of those things that you're doing wrong. And I hope that it really resonates with you and helps you on your journey. Very first thing you're doing wrong, you're overthinking. How many overthinkers we have in here? I really can't see y'all because the lights are so bright, but I know it's a lot of you. I myself am an overthinker. As much as I teach it, as much information that I give to individuals about their content, when it was time for me to step out and start doing my own, I was overthinking. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't watched one episode of my own podcast. I have the ability to click unpublish if I don't like it, and I know that I will overthink and criticize myself so much that I don't watch it. Some of you need to do that. All right, how many of y'all get stuck when you're getting ready to publish and you're like, I don't know what to say for the caption, or I don't know if I sound right here, I don't know. That's a lot of you. A lot of you are like that because you're trying to figure out, am I sounding and looking appropriate? Am I fulfilling what I want people to see me as? All right, and we're gonna get into that some more. I'm not photogenic. How many of those? I know we got a lot of those. All right? I don't like how I look on camera. And believe me, you all, you're not the only one. Some of the most beautiful people that you see online feel the exact same way. We have people come into our office, in our studios to film all the time. And every time they're worried about what they look like. What's the lighting look like? Do I look old? Right? These are all things that they discuss. But you don't need to be photogenic to share a message, right? If everybody on this stage that was up here for worship, could they have fed what they did to you, gave what they gave to you all if they were worried about how they look? I don't think so. I had to get out of that in my own mind. I'm a Chicago kid with a big forehead and a crooked smile. I had to get out of my own mind to be able to create. And then it started getting fun. Because after a few go out, I'm looking through the comments, ain't nobody saying nothing about it. So I'm like, all right, it must be okay. All right? And it was just me overthinking over and over again. I don't like how I sound. This is another reason why I don't listen to myself. All right? Can I see a hand of how many people worry about their voice when they talk? Oh, yeah. I knew that was going to be a lot, too. I hear the same excuses over and over again. It's always going to be like that. I need better equipment. Now, I'm not going to dive into equipment with you today as much as, I'm kind of a geek in that area. But as much as I would have fun showing you equipment and getting you set up, right? Wealth of Creator is just for that. We help everybody get going. We dial in setups. We can do all of that for you. But sometimes it's not about the equipment, right? It's just not about it. How many people have a phone? Everybody. How many people have an iPhone? If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have a phone. No, don't get me later for that. I'm just joking. It's still a phone, I guess. All right. Here's another excuse. I don't have the money. There's a lot of creators out there that are just looking for opportunities. A lot of volunteers, a lot of videographers that just need the opportunity. When I got with Ryan, it was an opportunity for me to grow with him. I didn't come in at a high price, a big ticket. In fact, he sold me on less than what I deserve. But I was just looking for the opportunity. There's somebody in your city right now that picked up a camera about 6 months ago, and all they need is somebody to point it at. You might have to do some work to find them. You might have to get some help to find that individual, but they're there. They can help you. And stop worrying about the money. That can work itself out. There's people on my team. If they were worried about the money, I wouldn't have them, and they're great. You all see it. There's videos going up before the person even walks up stage. All right? But they're not worried about the money because they see the vision, they see the opportunity. So is your vision strong enough to get people to join you? Are you clear on where you're trying to go? Because you got to get people to buy in. People need to know where they're going and do they want to take that journey with you? Can they be that supporting cast to you to help you reach where we're trying to go? Is that a problem? And let me ask you this. Should you be worried about the price of today? Right? Is that a real thing? Or should you be worried about what it's going to be like if you stayed the same? I don't know. I know that I'm not concerned with what it is today. Wherever I'm at, whether I believe I deserve more or not, I'm going to work until I get it. And I know that if I just stayed complacent and stayed the same, I'm headed downhill. There's nowhere to go. So you got to be sure you understand that. Staying the same only hurts you. Take the chance, take the risk. The last one is I don't have time. And I love this one too. Because our response every time when somebody says I don't have time, I say, walk me through the day. What's it look like? How many people really busy all day? Y'all tell them, y'all not real. Y'all not real. Because I can tell you this, Ryan has eight companies that he's running and actually he's involved in them. And you're going to tell me that you're busier than him? I don't think so. Find time. Stop making content and be the content. I got a camera on me right now. Whatever I get from it, I'm going to use. It's been following me around this whole event. Super awkward. Every time I go to talk to somebody and I look over, there's a camera, I'm like, all right, I'm not supposed to look at the lens, right? But I'm just making content. It's going to be used at some point. It's going to be very valuable. Here's the real reason, y'all. You're scared. You're scared. Y'all quiet. Y'all quiet because y'all don't want to hear this part. I know. But we're going to get to something better in a little bit. But this is the real reason, right? You're locked in the prison of people's opinions. It's time to break that. It's time to get over that. People's opinions don't make you. They only break you. And unless you stop caring about them, you'll forever be in that life sentence, locked in that barrier, worried about what the next person is telling you. I shared this at a few welcomes ago in a panel, and I told people, I said, while you're putting out content worried about what everybody is thinking about you, they're watching you thinking, what would they think about me if I knew them? Does that make sense? They're watching you going, I wonder what it would be like to meet a Tim Tebow. All right? And then you're putting out the content worried about what they're saying. You got to get beyond that. Here's number 2. No vulnerability. I saw yesterday somebody asked how many real estate agents are in the room. And one thing I always notice about agents, and I know they be killing y'all sometime on this stage, but there's no knock to you. It's just sometimes you don't understand. If all your feed is just house after house, you walking through it, slow-mo of the fountain, if that's your entire feed, I got no relation to that, which means I will never follow you. I'll see it on my For You page and I'll swipe because you had no impact on what I'm trying to do. And I understand it's important to get that out because that's the audience that you're trying to garner. But if I can't relate to you in any kind of way, it doesn't even make sense. You're not a house, right? I need to know more about who you are. I need you to get vulnerable. Here's your excuses. I don't want to expose my family. All right, I hear that one all the time too. I'm not really the type to really, show my house and my family and stuff like that. I try to protect them. Nobody's watching yet. Nobody's seeing it. What are we talking about? I bet you I could relate more to that agent or whoever. I can relate more to your family and your time that you spend with them than I can anything that you're doing in business. I, too, trying to figure out how to balance my work life and home life. Are y'all hearing me? Yeah. You got to get vulnerable. You got to give people what they deserve. They deserve to know you. One of the greatest marketers in the world, Kim Kardashian. You know everything about her life from 20 years ago. She's shown you over and over again all the drama and all the good times. I see every birthday party they throw. What's good about that, though, is people buy into that. They relate to that. There's some people that are diehard fans that buy every product, no matter how good or bad it is. It's because she gave you her. right? And there's limits, I understand, but that's part of it. Here's another one. I'm a private person. I got that yesterday from somebody. No knock to you, but I understood what you were saying. But we got to break that shell. We got to break that shell. We got a great team that does that. Helps a person get used to that. I'm not asking you to share your entire life and everything, but give people a piece of you that they can relate to. I'm no expert. I say that all the time, right? I helped, right? But whatever you've done in just this short amount of time that you've been doing business, you are an expert. When you leave here today, if you took notes and you begin to create a vision for yourself and a plan for this year, you're becoming an expert. And no matter what, you got something to share. We need it from you. In order for us to connect for real, I need that from you. You are an expert. Forget the imposter syndrome, all right? Forget it. Again, it's better to do it now while no one's looking. Get over it now, all right? Nothing I'm going to do is post-worthy. I feel like that all the time, all right? I was literally flying for the first time on a private jet with Ryan Pineda and Brad Lee and Neil Dingram and all these different creators and business owners, and I didn't pick up my phone one time to post anything. What are you doing? People don't get this experience. How is this not post-worthy? And I don't know what is. And then it clicked to me on the way back, like I better get something now and let people know what's going on. Let people see the growth. There's going to be some people that I can do business with that can relate, and then there's going to be some people that can't, but they're excited for me, right? These are all part of that, right? People want to know the real us. Not the us that the internet version, the internet version of ourselves that society says is good for our success. That's not who they want. So everything that you think you're doing right in the moment that gives you that internet look like you're successful and you're so driven and you got all this business going on, that's not who we need. We need to see the real part. We need to see the real you, the part that's going to really be a force in our future. That's what we're looking for. No commitment is the next one. I hope y'all writing some of this down because you're going to look back at this or you're going to watch this when I post it on YouTube and you're going to say to me, he told me, and I still haven't made videos. You got to commit. We have people come in with us and they get with us and they go, all right, I signed a 3-month deal with you, and we're gonna knock out all these podcasts, and I'm gonna have all this content to put out. And then they get into the 3rd month and they don't see the return on the views that they like. You know, they don't see like the engagement that they want. You did it for 3 months. I did 3,000 videos with Ryan last year. You gonna tell me that you deserve what he has? Take a step back. Really look into yourself in the mirror and go, did I really go all in on it? Did video after video after video get better? Ask yourself that. My first question was, would you follow you? Remember that. I'm tired. I tried this, fill in the blank, and now I'm trying this. That's another one, man. You all don't stop with that one. You shifted your business 10 times last year, and you're trying to figure out why your content isn't engaging. We don't know what you do. We're just trying to figure it out. Once you get your plan and you know what it is that you want for yourself, go all in every area of the business, meaning that your content needs to be just as good. There's a lot of power in commitment, a lot of power. I'm burnt out. Yeah, I know. If you're burnt out, how many people are burnt out right now? They've been doing it. Is there any of you? Let me hear you. Not many of you. If you were burnt out, I would tell you, here, let me give you some more efficient ways of creating. Do you have a podcast? I film 4 hours a week, 2-hour sessions, one for prep, one for actual filming with a podcast guest. And if I do it myself, I do an hour of prep and I film myself for an hour. That takes nothing away from what I have to do for Ryan. It takes no time. You're only talking about what you know. You're gonna feel like an imposter if you start talking about things you're not aware of. So you'll never hear me get on the stage and talk about real estate. I just haven't done it yet. So remember that when you start to set yourself up and prepare. If you're feeling burnt out, figure out a more efficient way to do it. Ryan said, I don't really see why it makes sense for me to do these blogs anymore. All right. People like them though. Yeah, I don't see why it makes sense for me to spend that time. All right, what will you commit to? I'll commit to podcasting. We're all in. And like I told you, 500 years is the equivalent of 500 years of watch hours, right? Just from going all in, being true to it. Negative comments, no need to pay attention to those. We accept all the comments. In fact, when we were doing direct-to-camera stuff and we were doing those home tours, there was words misspelled intentionally because we just wanted you all to engage. Some of y'all in here, too. And don't think I don't remember that little bubble that shows your face on your YouTube profile. Comment after, keep coming, keep bringing it, right? When you're in purpose, it doesn't matter what other people think. We're in purpose. You all are seeing it for yourselves. Each and every one of us that are part of the organization, we're driving this thing to a certain level. That's our goal. We're locked in. So the comments don't matter. The time constraints. Here we go again. I threw that on there. I wanted to throw that on twice because everybody runs out of time. Yeah. Figure it out, you all. Again, don't just make content. Be the content. Most of these big creators that you're going to see on the stage and that you see on social media, they're not making it. They just got somebody following around and they're just having engaging conversations. The reason why it works is because they're talking about things that you all can relate to. How do we fix it? And this is an important one because I wanted to get you all here. I know I've been like kind of hard on what you all are doing right now, but this is what's important. Figuring out how to fix it. Here's the first one. Change your mindset. Your uniqueness is your brand. God has shaped you and molded you into this individual, into this business owner, into this real estate investor, into this millionaire, into this soon-to-be billionaire. He's molding you, and that's what makes you unique. That's what makes good content. You just got to change your mindset and believe in that. You got to know that Justin wants to hear from you if you're doing anything good. I do. I encourage it because I'm like, hey, man, what you're doing is great. Have you talked about it on your social? No. Oh, you're a lawyer. Okay. All right. Right? Stuff like that. Personal injury. Yeah, I know. Have you talked about how you've been able to impact people within your business? Haven't heard it. Tell your stories. Change your mindset. You don't need to have the best gear. You just got to have the right gear. A lot of creators, and again, sorry for those that don't have the iPhone, but you already have your camera. It's there. It's there. You don't need a person following you around. That's not necessary all the time. There'll come a point where it fits your budget, it makes the most sense, you're doing cool things that you actually want to show people. But up until that point, pull your phone out and make a video. In fact, because I thought about this last night, I wonder if people really believe me about their phone. You don't need the best equipment, you need the right equipment. I'm going to give away a piece of equipment right now when we go in the back end and when we finish that break. I'm going to give away a piece of equipment that's going to help you in your journey. I don't know who I'm going to give it to. I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. But somebody is going to say something that's going to bless me, and I'm going to bless you with that piece of equipment. And I promise you, if you don't use it, I'm going to get really mad. But I promise you, if you do use it, you're going to see the impact that just that little piece of equipment will make on your social media and your mindset. Y'all hear me? All right. Commit to a schedule. All right. Whatever you're willing to commit to. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to put out I'm starting tomorrow and I'm going to release 7 videos a week. Stop it. Let's work up to that point, but let's figure out a schedule that makes the most sense. Preparation, integrity, repetition. These 3 things will get you to where you really want to go. We can feel the frauds. We know when you're not being real. We know when you're not operating in integrity. So let's just start how we want to finish. Let's be real with ourselves and be real with the people. And the only cheat code is consistency and repetition. I can get up here all day and give you good hooks. I can make your image look really good, but repetition is what does it. All right? You got to be consistent. Lastly, get help. I don't care if it's from me. I don't care if you come to Wealthy Create. It doesn't matter. I encourage it because I know I can help you. But just get help. Find it. I talked about the person in your city. Look for them. Our lead videographer and the individual that is working as my assistant, my right hand, is 17 years old. He's been with us since he was 15, pulled out of high school. His courses are Ryan's social media and real estate courses. But I know I could walk away and trust what he's going to do. We just have to find him. Find someone that's willing to commit with you. And I want to encourage you all to take action on your social media today. Stop pitying yourself. Stop thinking it's too late to get started. There's billions of people on these platforms. It's time. Now's the time. I hope y'all understand that if you don't get started, it won't work. It just won't work. And it's time now. It's time now. Stop thinking in terms of limitations and start thinking of the possibilities. There's so many of you that are here, especially a lot of you in the early rows, that I remember your first event. And I remember you kind of shy and like, hey, I'm such and such. And then I watch you come into the event now with 2 cameramen. But my only question was, did it drive leads? Are you doing good? And a good majority is yes. It works.